This question started back in 2023 when I played Strandbergs along with a bunch of other high-end and ergonomic guitars whilst documenting my experiences on this channel. And after a full year and tens of thousands of dollars spent, I've come to the conclusion that if I could just pick one guitar to play for all of 2024, it would definitely be a Strandberg, but not this particular Strandberg. More on that later. My opinion can be summed up in the following statement. Strandbergs aren't perfect, but they are the best ergonomic guitars for the money, period. So I'm going to tell you the best aspects of Strandbergs, why they aren't perfect, but still why they're worth the money in 2024. And if you need more detail about literally anything to do with Strandberg guitars, I did a full series, the playlist is linked below. One of the most important features of Strandberg guitars is the neck specs, and I'm not actually talking about the endurneck profile. Strandberg is one of the few companies that offers a guitar with a 20-inch radius, and in my opinion, that very flat radius makes playing any genre super comfortable and super consistent. And speaking of consistent, all Strandberg guitars also come with Jescar stainless steel frets. Now, there are a lot of brands who offer stainless steel frets because unlike traditional nickel frets, high quality stainless steel basically never wears down. However, very few companies actually tell you where they source their stainless steel from, and there are definitely a lot of companies who are saving money by getting cheaper stainless steel, which defeats the purpose of having super hard stainless steel frets. So the fact that Strandberg uses top of the line Jescar frets is great. And overall, the fretwork is very, very good, though not perfect. Again, more on that later. Now, when I first started playing Strandberg guitars, I did notice that the endurneck helped to improve a few small aspects of my playing. The shape of the neck actually encouraged me to play slightly more diagonal than straight on. And at first, I fought this instinct just like I would with any normal neck, but I decided to let the neck decide for me since this is a test after all. And what I found is that this slightly more diagonal position at the higher frets for me actually allowed me to play far longer without pain. During practice sessions in the past, I couldn't really play legato in this area in this way for longer than about 20 minutes without needing a break. And this past Sunday, I played legato in this area for literally 3 hours straight before noticing any fatigue whatsoever. When I pick up a regular guitar, I can use that knowledge and rotate my hand ever so slightly to make it more comfortable. But the endurneck does take some of that mental work away, making it easier to do. And on top of that, I learned about that little technique switch from the endurneck. I was then able to bring those improvements back to my regular playing when I switched back to regular guitars. And for some people, the endurneck is a complete revelation for their playing and comfort. I personally don't need the endurneck, but I also don't mind having it. And I can switch between an endurneck and a regular neck without any issues whatsoever, even if I've gone months without playing an endurneck. So in my opinion, at best, the endurneck is fantastic, and at worst, it's neutral. The Strandberg's body shape is also frankly genius. It balances on your body in several positions, and I find it comfortable in just about every setting, from perfect seated posture to lazy playing in a relaxed way on a couch when you're just squeezing in extra time with your instrument. And since all Strandbergs are also extremely lightweight, you'll be very comfortable standing with them as well. Not to mention the transition from sitting and playing to standing and playing is seamless. Your posture doesn't change whatsoever, which very few guitars can claim. I always pick the lightest weight guitar, but if you want to choose based on the heaviest guitar or even just the top color, you can do so when shopping with Sweetwater. And if you use my affiliate link below, it's an easy way to help out the channel with no additional cost to you. I'll link my favorite Strandberg guitars below along with my most commonly used gear. Thank you again to Sweetwater for sponsoring this video. When you have a Strandberg, you'll probably find yourself playing guitar more because you can play it anywhere. And it also travels super easily with the included gig bag. This all only weighs 8.5 pounds versus the 12.6 pounds of my other thing. So this is, 4.1 pounds less. But on top of that, the tuning stability is frankly incredible. I spent all of my time playing Strandbergs with tremolo bridges like this one. And even after constant whammy bar use and traveling, I practically never have to tune any Strandberg guitar, ever. Honestly, I just can't imagine anyone needing to retune a Strandberg guitar more than once or at the most twice a week And for me, I can go easily a month without ever touching the tuners. And the final great thing about Strandberg guitars is that you won't need to mod them by upgrading the pickups or changing the pots or anything like that. Every Strandberg guitar that I've ever played has really great pickups, and that includes models like this that just have the normal Strandberg branded pickups. Even these are fantastic, and I definitely wouldn't need to change these out for other pickups. And they also usually offer really smart wiring. Every position of the pickup switch has a very usable tone. Now, with all of the good that I shared with you about Strandberg guitars, you're probably wondering why I don't exclusively play Strandberg guitars, and there are only a few reasons, but none of them have to do with this guitar's quality. Number one, since I have a channel where I review guitars, I want my primary guitars to be somewhat normal so I have a more consistent base of comparison. And number two, I think Strandbergs are the best guitar for $2,000 or below. My favorite ergonomic guitar back over here is double the price. And even though my Abasi is my favorite guitar, I have to admit that it's not 2 times as good as a Strandberg. The tuning stability on a Strandberg is also better and it travels a lot easier. So again, if I had $2,000 or less to just buy a stock guitar, it would 100% be a Strandberg. And I would pick a Strandberg even though they do have a few smalls. For example, this locking mechanism works perfectly fine, but I would like it to be a little bit more low profile and I wish it didn't have pointy corners. And the fretwork on Strandberg guitars is generally really good in terms of its leveling and its consistency out of the factory, but I have seen and heard a lot of issues with fret sprout and occasional rough fret edges. Thankfully, this one doesn't have any of those issues so far. So no, I don't think Strandbergs are perfect, and I personally definitely wouldn't buy one of the $6,000 or $7,000 Strandberg guitars, but for around $2,000 or below, I can't recommend any guitar that competes with Strandberg in terms of its comfort, features, and overall reliability. They're simply the best ergonomic guitar for the money in 2024. Oh yeah, and the Strandberg that I would personally pick myself is the Strandberg Sailing Classic NX6 Tremolo, because I'm a dual humbucker guy, I'm a tremolo guy, and I love weird looking tele guitars, so this one checks all the boxes for me, and on top of that, it's also under $2,000.